Shabbat Shalom, fam. Today should be the beginning of the Feast of Tabernacles, where the Israelites communicate today for convocation and hopefully reach out if you're in the position to. And there are some that probably aren't or can't or haven't. Uh, the problem is to recognize this and get in the habit of rehearsing the righteous acts and do everything that's in your power to make sure that they actually come into fruition in terms of what the actual scriptures calls for the Israelites in order to honor his seven feasts and festivals throughout our calendar year, not the Gregorian calendar, but the Hebrew calendar. Um, the month of Tishri today, or we're in the month of Tishri, or Tishri, um, Tishri. Um, once you get your pronunciation down. At this point, the objective is to do everything you can to understand and improve with honoring the laws of the Most High as per scribes, who did not change any jot or tittle in our laws. And so that gives us something to do until we leave this side of the earth or until the Messiah comes back, whichever comes first. Let me do this today. I want to get right in. I'm going to try to make this a short video. I wanted to go right to the scriptural verses so you can see where we were given instructions to honor the Feast of Tabernacle, which is a remembrance of what the Israelites had to take on or go through once the Exodus from Egypt to go to the Promised Land, to get to Jerusalem, and to get to that side of the world away from our conditions, our forefathers' conditions as well. At that time in Mizraim or Kemet, but today it's called Egypt. So, for all my new people who don't know where the feast festivals in terms of the law basically begins at in the scriptures, let's go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, and to get right down to the direct verses, I want to go all the way down to verse 33. So again, Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, the 33rd verse, and it reads as follows. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this seventh month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. On the first day shall be a holy convocation. Ye shall not do no servile work therein. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. I want to stop right here, and that's the end of verse 36. Pretty much to summarize what I just read to you is that at the beginning, to open the ceremonial or the righteous acts of celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles, what the Most High has required of us is to have a holy convocation, which is typically consumes of Israelites gathering into whatever group you all can gather if you're in the position to actually do that or communicate via phone, text, whatever you can do. But the point of it is for the like voices and like minds to get together. And you also going to start. It will be 8 days at the end, but the first day being today, you'll complete the 7 days of what I will read next to be required to be done. And after that, then that will make it the 8th day. So you'll start and end on the exact same day of the week, the following week. And that's what will give you the 8th day of events. So, and with that also being the case, you're going to also do a sacrifice by fire, and you're pretty much going to sacrifice um, a particular type of one of the required sacrifice lambs or animals or meat thereof, and you're going to go through that process. We will talk a little more about the actual types of sacrifice meats, but for this, I wanted to go right into the instructions of the Feast of Tabernacles in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Now, I want to continue. I'm going to go ahead and pick up on verse 37 so we can make sure this video is short and to the point, and then your questions will come up after that, and you can contact me or be able to move forward, and I can lead you to the best direction or give you the best possible solution or answer to whatever your questions are. But let me dig right in because before the video turns into super long. So now I'm going to verse 37 of Leviticus 23rd chapter. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon this day. Besides the Sabbaths of the Lord. This is every Saturday when it says besides the Sabbath. So every single Saturday of every year for the rest of your life is considered the Sabbath day, beginning at sundown, preparation Friday night to conclusion of sundown Saturday night. Besides the Sabbath of the Lord, and besides your gifts, and beside all of your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which ye give unto the Lord. Also, in the 15th day of the 7th month, which is what we're in, Tishri, or Teshri, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath with no work, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath, no work. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days. Verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. When it says booths, it's saying you shall pitch a tent or dwell in tents. This is to remember the portion of the voyage from Israel on trying to make our way to the promised lands or going toward Jerusalem, which is less than 300 miles in actual land miles from Egypt to Jerusalem. But it says ye shall dwell in booths. That means you should be in a tent, typically in your backyard or at a park, or even sometimes in your house if you're actually in the position to get them. We have brothers who are in weird positions right now where it got up on you, whatever the case may be. But I'm telling you to acknowledge it to whatever degree is available to you at this point, so the Most High will know that at that point, it happened because it happened out of error, but not because of ignorance and not because of purposeful avoidance. So the tents, if you don't have a tent right now, you're just getting to this point. At some point in the very near future, buy you one. But I also, some things I've done in the past before being able to get my hands on it, you actually can sleep on the floor. The point of it is to discomfort yourself as a tent would be compared to your bed. It doesn't mean you can't have an air pad in your tent or that type of thing. But what it means is the point of it is to remember to whatever semblance you can get to the maximum what the Israelites had to do to go through the process in order to create or bring us into the covenant where we have the potential of eternal life as well as eternal rulership once the covenant is back in full force again. All right. But we have to show by doing those acts now. But that's what booths, BOOTHS, that's what it means. So I wanted to make sure that you pointed that out. Now I'm going to reread verse 42 again. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I have made the children of Israel to dwell in booths, when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord. And the reason it ends with the feast, plural, because in the entire chapter of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, you're going to get a listing of all the quote unquote holy days, not holidays, because holidays was a sub a sub lower version of holy days. That's why they changed the Y to the I. That's what I was trying to get at. Excuse me for stumbling. I was trying to think of the best word to put in place, but it's a play on holy days, but it's called holidays on the pagan side. But the holy days were the particular days where we celebrate in comparison to a Christmas or Thanksgiving or St. Patrick's or Valentine's, whatever those are not honored by the Most High. So these are technically the holidays and the feasts in order to show the Most High that you're doing all you can to reach out to him and to follow his laws to the best of your ability. So you have to start and you have to push and do everything that you can within that realm to meet that. And the Most High will know your might. Be ye therefore perfect means try your best, do your best, and prepare for next year and so on as best as possible. So I wanted to bring that to you today to kind of get right to the point, so that on the new moon, I challenge all of you in order to keep up with the new moon. Don't count that you're going to watch the weather on television or whatever the case. Get you a free app that a moon app, if you will, and those moon apps typically have a lot of the same features without some over the top added stuff. But it will basically give you a warning whenever the new moon is approaching. And typically, for my people who don't understand that, most of the Gregorian calendar months kind of start on the full moon. They're closer to the full moon. There's a difference between a full moon and a new moon. A new moon starts at 0. A full moon gets at the crescent point of about 15 days because on average, a moon cycles every 30 days, sometimes 29, sometimes 31, but on average, 30 days, right? So what it's telling you is to do that, you need to be able to be on top of, okay, the new moon is coming now. I know to treat it as a Sabbath day. And if you have that in your phone, you'll kind of be a in-hand model to keep up with it. And you'll be able to get a list of all the calendar months. If you want to, you can reach out to me, post subscript on the page here, and I can either maybe upload a color photograph, or you can go Google and look for the Hebrew calendar or Israelite calendar. But at some point in the day, you're going to learn that we have a slightly different calendar than the Gregorian calendar, where we have to celebrate the Feast of the Most High. And we're in month 7, even though October is the 10th month of the Gregorian calendar, we're in month 7 of the Hebrew calendar. So our years start at the first new moon in the month of March. For a lot of other factors. We'll talk about that on another video. But at this point, I wanted to point out and make sure that if somebody saw this and they have the opportunity to either sleep on your floor, do what you can tonight to give as close of a remedy of sleeping in a tent. If you can sleep in your backyard, at the park, get some of your, whatever you can do. I just want your mindset to get on that. Just keep looking for all the answers you're trying to find, and eventually they will come up. So I wanted to make sure that I pointed that out to you today. And again, today should be the 15th day of the month. That's how I'm celebrating it, based on where the mark for the first month was, or the new moon of this particular month of Tashri was, is. So I wanted to point that out to you. So again, I'll say make sure you subscribe and give me all the questions that you can, and we'll get this thing together, and I'll pull information and get it to you as best as possible. But let's keep moving so we can get this thing together, so we can get the Messiah to come back and get us, because we got to get these 144,000 together as soon as possible to get to the next phase, or 144,000 men, 12,000 men from each of the 12 tribes ASAP. But That's what I wanted to point out to you today, and I'm going to bid you a farewell. And again, for right now, and look for some upcoming videos. Again, Shabbat Shalom and Tents of Judah. Look forward to seeing you, and we'll take a break. Shalom.